this video, we're going to be multiplying decimals by whole numbers using the standard algorithm. Remember, the standard algorithm is just how you normally multiply numbers. So let's say I was going to multiply 34 times 5. Standard algorithm means you just line it up the way you're used to. So we're going to try that today. Let's move into your notes. Our first problem is 6/10 times 4. 6/10 times 4. Let's go ahead and stack it up like you normally would. I want you to keep your decimal where it belongs, but you do not have to stack it just like you do with adding and subtracting. If you actually do that, it's not going to work. So do not stack it, but make sure you keep your decimal where it belongs. All we have to do is multiply. We're going to say 4 times 6 is 24. I guess I should probably carry that too. Mistakes. 4 times 6 is 24. Carry the 2. 4 times 0 is 0 plus 2 is 2. Now watch. We are going to swoop our decimal out. We're going to say swoop, drop it down, swoop it back. So we swooped out one time. You drop it down. You swoop it back in that one time. And that's all there is to it. So my answer is 2 4/10. Let's move on. For this next one, let's do 1 2/10 times 8. 1 2/10 times 8. Go ahead and fill that in. Let's multiply it. Stack it up. Keeping your decimal where it belongs. Remember, there is no magical decimal line. You're just going to multiply it like you would normal numbers and swoop it out at the end. 2 times 8 is 16. 8 times 1 is 8 plus 1 is 9. But our answer is not 96. We still have to swoop it. So you go find your decimal. You swoop it out. That's one swoop. Drop it down. Swoop it in the same number of swoops. One swoop out, one swoop in. 9 6/10 is our answer. Remember, if I ever go too fast for you, just go ahead and pause that video. Back it up. Whatever you need to do is totally fine. Just make sure you are understanding the content and getting your notes written down. Let's move on to the next question. 5 48/100 times 3. 5 48/100 times 3. Let's go ahead and stack it up. Remember, I'm going to keep my decimal where it is, but I am not going to make a magical decimal line. 3 times 8 is 24. Carry my 2. 3 times 4 is 12. Plus 2 is 14. Put my 4 down. Carry my 1. 3 times 5 is 15. Plus 1 is 16. But my answer isn't 1,644 because think about it. 5 times 3 is not going to give me 1,644. So let's swoop that decimal. Got our decimal here. We're going to swoop 1, swoop twice, swoop. There it is. Drop it down. Swoop 1, swoop twice. So you swoop it out and then you drop it, swoop it in the same number of times. We've got 16 44/100. 16 44/100. Let's look at our next one. 6 82/100 times 5. Stack it up just like you would regular multiplication, and let's multiply. 2 times 5 is 10. 5 times 8 is 40, plus 1 is 41. 6 times 5 is 35, plus 4, 36, 37, 38, 39. Now again, my answer is not 3,910. We have to swoop, so we're going to say swoop 1, swoop twice, drop it down, swoop 1, swoop, there it is, 39 1/10. You can add that 0 and make it 10/100, but you could also leave it out and make it 1/10. It's the exact same number. Let's move it on to our last two problems. I want you to go ahead and try 23 1/10 times 6. Go ahead and multiply 23 1/10 times 6. For this one, you're going to stack it up just like you normally would stack up anything else. We're going to say 6 times 1 is 6. 6 times 3 is 18. 6 times 2 is 12, plus 1 is 13. Now the important part. One swoop out, drop it down, one swoop in. My answer is 138 6/10. Perfect. All right, this last one is 1 345 thousandths. Let's do this one times, we done 3 yet? I don't even know. Do that one times 3. 1 345 thousandths times 3. Go ahead and multiply it. For this one, stack it up. 3 times 5 is 15. 3 times 4 is 12, plus 1 is 13. 3 times 3 is 9, plus 1 is 10. 3 times 1 is 3, plus 1 is 4. All right, let's find that decimal. We've got a decimal here, so we're going to say 1 swoop, 2 swoop, 3 swoop. Drop it down. 1, 2, 3 swoops. Beautiful. I know some of you are thinking, Miss Wilson, you just drop it straight down. When we start multiplying decimal times decimal, that won't work. So don't take the easy way out. You should have gotten 4 and 35 thousandths is your answer. Make sure you double check your work. Make sure you are swooping that decimal in and out and writing your correct answer.